What's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is the Houston Texans Homer Network. It means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. Today we're going to be talking about the Texans, and more specifically the Texans fan base. If you don't know, I am your host at Honcho, your Houston homeboy, your Houston homer, all that good stuff. HonchoSaucy. You know, I ain't said that in a while, but here's the deal, man. I want to talk about something today. It's going to be a little bit of a shorter video because I just kind of want to get to the point. It's something I've been noticing going on around the city of Houston. And it's been going on for weeks, and I think it's starting to boil to a head, especially with the Texans kind of solidifying the number 2 seed. And that is, we have like this division in the fan base. And there's a few things that I think are to blame for the reason that people are acting this way. And again, you know, nobody's really right. Nobody's really wrong. This is the sauce, and this is why I say we come together as a collective when we go live. And make sure, you know, you check us out. We go live every night at 7 p.m. And I know I've been kind of off here and there. You let don't go on Saturday, but now we're going to give it to you every day, 7 days a week, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you're in there. If you don't get a notification, you don't see it on the IG or whatever, we're going to be going live unless it's just something, just really preventing me from being able to go. But we're going to do this every night now. But again, I have been noticing this in several places. I've noticed it in the sauce for several weeks now, even all throughout the winning streak. I've been seeing it on Twitter. I've been seeing it in some of the Facebook groups. And that is the Texans fan, this Texans fan base. We're divided on two things, kind of. There's like two sides. It's a civil war of the Texans fans. You have the Texans fans who are happy that we're winning, that we got a win streak going, that, you know, the Texans are in the conversation. Then you have the Texans fans who are, I guess you would say, being more analytical. Okay. Now, again, like I said, neither one of these is right. Neither one of these is wrong. For whatever perspective you are, hey, you feel free to feel however you want to feel. But I think that there are things that we need to look at both sides. I'm just going to touch on some of these things real quickly. I want to let you, I want y'all to let me know in the comment section below how you feel. What side of the fence are you on? You know, I think some of us are riding the fence, and I kind of feel like I say you can find the legitimacy in both sides. But like I said, we're just going to take a look at both of them and what the problem really is. And I kind of want to know your thoughts. I want to know your opinions on how we can fix this problem, because I think it's getting to a point where it's extremely ridiculous and very telling of this city or this fan base. And I think we just have to look at some things. So, and we'll make sure we talk more about it tonight in the live stream. So make sure you're there, and we'll be taking calls. And I think we'll start doing it kind of like I did the other day, where we'll start taking calls a lot earlier in the sauce, because we got a lot more people starting to call in. So man, make sure you're a part of that. The livest, the best sports talk show in Houston, Sauce Sports. But again, so let's talk about it. So you have one side of the fan base who is overjoyed, happy. Texans are 10-4. Don't give a fuck how we got there. A win is a win. Any given Sunday. We are number 2 in the AFC right now. Okay, cool. Then you have the other side. Well, we're not as good as these other teams. We're not using our full potential. We could be doing so much more. Bill O'Brien's not the coach. Let's fire him. We need a new DC. We need an offensive coordinator. A lot of different perspectives on both sides. Okay, so let's take a look at we'll call it the optimists and the analysts. Okay, the O's and the A's. Okay, not the X's and O's, the O's and A's. And if this sounds crazy, I'm just kind of going. I definitely didn't script this one, so if it is a little offbeat, hey, forgive me. I don't give a shit. But so the optimists. Happy. They're happy that we have a win. We had the win streak, even though people are saying every week, oh, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We won't beat this team. We won't beat that team. Okay, cool. We start off 0-3. And the optimists, there were some optimists. There were a lot of people who jumped ship, honestly. After 0-3, they were listening to the national media. Oh, you know, no team after 0-3 has ever done, you know, this, that, or the third. The percentages is like 2%, and it just won't happen. And, you know, I remember back to the Colts and Texans game. Both these teams are so bad. Neither one of them make the playoffs. Now, fast forward to today. That's what happens when you listen to experts. And I tell y'all all the time, if you've been fucking with Sauce Connection from the very beginning, I don't believe in experts. I'm not an expert. I'm a fan talking to the fans. I fuck up all the time. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I have no problem eating my crow. You know, it's been times I probably had to eat up a crow buffet. It is what it is. But right now I'm happy because my team is winning, and we're currently on the prediction that, I said earlier in the season, 11-5 is what I was saying that this team should be when we looked at the schedule. So we lost to some teams that we didn't think we would, and we beat some teams that we thought we would. And so we'll see how it all pans out. So I think we still have 2 games, and if we split these 2 games, I'm okay. I'm not upset. I'm not going to be part of this whole crazy situation. Now, the optimist happy because we're winning. I don't see anything wrong with that. I see no problem with that. I cannot find fault with someone being happy that their team is winning regardless of how the wins come about. I'm partially in that crowd. Hey, I don't give a fuck. You know how hard it is to win? Look at some of these games with the Patriots. One play might have changed that shit. You look at some of these other teams who've lost by a field goal, missed extra points, regardless of the team that it is they're playing. The Raiders beat the Steelers the other day. And the Raiders are probably one of the worst, if not the worst team in the league, in my opinion. And they overcame one of the teams that everybody saying was the hot team because they had a little 5-game streak going. Everybody saying, oh, this team is going to be primed and ready to go for a Super Bowl run. So one of the worst teams beat one of the best teams. So then you have the Texans, who nobody in the beginning of this year, I don't think really felt like they were Super Bowl contenders. You had a couple people say, they'd probably win the AFC South. But the majority consensus was that the Texans weren't going to be very good. It was going to be the Jags and the Titans again. The Colts and the Texans were going to be terrible. You see how wrong all those people were. But we told y'all here on Saw Sports the very beginning that, I didn't think the Colts were going to be good because I didn't think Andrew Luck was going to come back and do what he's doing now. But hey, again, I hate to crow on that. I'm wrong. And the Texans would bounce back, and everything in the AFC South would be set right again. Everything, everybody would regress to the means and would go where they belong. So again, like I said, I have no problem with anybody being positive about the Texans. We're the only division right now in the league, when everybody else says the AFC South is one of the weakest divisions. We're the only division with 3 teams with winning records. Okay. So there's that. The Jags, they didn't show up to the party. They were supposed to be the Super Bowl. That's what everybody was calling the Super Bowl. They didn't show up to the party. The rest of us, we're all winning. So I have no problem with that. So in my opinion, right now, we have to be the toughest division because we have all the winning teams. And I know you can say, well, look at, KC and the Chargers. That's cool. But what about the rest of that division? You got 2 teams in there that are doing all right, and they're preying on some of the other teams in that division and kind of feasting on them. Over here, it's a different story. But with that being said, I have no problem with the optimism. Okay. I think it's cool. I think it's fine. Now, I actually do have one problem with the optimism, and that is overly optimistic. Yeah, this team is going, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're going to do it. We're going to be, let's not go that far. Okay. Let's chill. We're on the right path. Absolutely. Nothing wrong with the path we're on, but you have to take it game by game, week by week. I'm not a person that likes to skip so far ahead. Some of y'all already talking about drafts next year and shit. Like, can we finish this season and see ultimately what happens before we start, talking about everything else? The team started to kind of peak at the right time. Had a little hiccup in the road against a team that was starting to peak on their own right. And again, week to week, game to game, and it is any given Sunday. Some people, hey, I hate that saying any given. Well, how many of you have been wrong on a given Sunday? Any given Sunday, your ass is motherfucking wrong. Any given Sunday, my ass is wrong. We looked at the Colts-Jags game. Oh, Colts are washed. They're done. They came back. They beat us. Then, okay, well, we were supposed to win that. Okay, then we go on the Jets. We should run them off the road. It was a tougher fight. Again, and even the whole national media jumped onto that one. So let's chill with the over-optimism, okay? And this is where we're going to get into the overs. Nothing wrong with being optimistic. There is a problem with being overly optimistic, but there's nothing wrong with supporting your team. And ultimately, the goal for any team every season should be to win the Super Bowl. But I don't think anybody legitimately felt like this Texans team was a Super Bowl contender to start the year, especially with the moves that were made, the offseason, the free agencies, the changes that were made. Okay, cool. Now let's talk about the A's, the analysts. And the analysts are the ones who are looking and saying, okay, well, these statistics here don't look as good as this team over here. One, usually it's a team that we don't even fucking play. Well, look at the Saints or look at the Rams or, look at Kansas City. We're not playing any of those teams. None of those teams are on our schedule. Okay, so one, comparing yourself about playing a team that you're not even going to face yet and then talk about how much better they are or whatever that is, it doesn't make sense because it's really irrelevant. What does it matter if the teams that you're talking about you don't play? Yes, you could potentially play them, but as of right now, there's no documentation, there's no record, there's no meeting matchup or situation to compare yourself to a team that you're not going to play. Every team has a different journey. Nobody plays the same exact schedule, so it's a different journey for every team to get to their glory. Okay, it was a different. We talked about the Patriots when they won their first one and how that whole happened. We talked about the Tuck rule and that bullshit. We've talked about the Giants and those 9-7 teams that went on the unlikely shit ways that they won against the Patriots. You think anybody's going to complain about Tyree and that catch? Well, it wasn't really a great catch, so we should just not count that and give the Patriots. No, fuck no. And this is my problem where we have the analysts, because you have the over-analysts, over-analyzing, over-complaining about shit. This team ain't as good as that team. And, this is, who gives a fuck? Okay? Nothing wrong with analyzing the good and the bad and the mode. Okay, hey, this game, this week, the Texans did not play up to their full potential. Here's some of the mistakes they made. But when we start saying, well, this team over here is doing this and this team, like, who gives a fuck? Like, stop that bullshit. And ultimately, what I'm saying for both the overs, the over-optimistic, the over-analysts, is stop over-fucking doing it. Stop going over the fucking boundaries. The boundary is week in and week out, because you don't know who's going to be healthy. You don't know who's going to get hurt the next week. You don't know what's going to happen to the next team. You have no fucking idea. You don't know what's going to happen in the fucking game. And so stop stressing your fucking selves out. Stop piling on to the bullshit. Over-analysts, stop shitting on the optimistic people for being happy about what's going on. Optimistic people, stop arguing with the people who want to be more critical. There's nothing wrong with pointing out flaws in the fucking teams. Ultimately, most of us, because I think some of us claim to be Texans fans and really just want to just roll in the negativity. Again, like I said, I don't want to talk about, well, this team did this in the past and this team did this in the past, and who gives a fuck? This is a new season, a new story, new players, a whole new program. And until, the things of the past start happening, then it is what it is. And it tells, when you see what side of the coin that people are on, it tells a lot more about their personality than their reasoning as a football fan. And that's what you people got to realize. Like I said, I look at a lot of stuff. I like to read a lot about, psychology and philosophy and stuff. And I'm not saying I'm no expert or anything. But there's little things that you can tell about how people approach sports, man. And some of y'all got to ease up, because you're going to stress the fuck out of yourselves and y'all are going to be miserable. Okay? You're going to be miserable. Let's keep everything logical. Let's keep everything reasonable and sensible. Because again, what kills me is you had a lot of people on that 0-3, that jump ship. Deshaun told y'all, you don't come around when we start winning. They run on the streak, and you had the analysts everywhere. The Texans are going to lose. They're going to lose this one. They're going to lose this one. Oh, this wasn't good enough. This wasn't good enough. And then they waited after a 9-game streak to finally say, I told you. They put together 9 fucking games. Come on, man. Stop the bullshit. Like, stop the bullshit. Okay? But at the same time, overly optimistic people, we can beat anybody. We can beat it. Chill. They won the games how they won the games. It wasn't like they came in and they're smoking everybody and they're blowing everybody out, but they're doing what this team has to do to win. So there's nothing wrong with being happy about each game that's won. There's nothing wrong with being happy about the facts. 9 games put together, cool. Won them. Lost the game. And the funny thing about it is, like, there's people who jump ship after losing 9 games, just started with, like, we're waiting. I guess they had so much pent up anger to complain about it that they just needed that loss so they could vent and let all that shit go. Bam, they win the next game. Against the Jets team, it was ugly. Still won it. Showed that they can come back against a team who had a little bit of momentum. I'm not saying that the Jets had momentum. They had just kind of won the game before. And we had just lost the game before, and it was just kind of a weird situation. But ultimately, all I'm saying is enjoy your team. Enjoy the wins. Enjoy the facts. Stop with the hypotheticals. Oh, well, this happened, way back when, so it's quite a possibility it could happen. Yeah, it's always it's a possibility any fucking thing can happen. Well, this team, Bill O'Brien needs to be fired because we can't win the Super Bowl. One team, was there like 30 teams in the league? One team gets to win the fucking Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear the bullshit from those people, like when it happens, if the Texans don't win it all. I told you. Guess what? You can say that about 29 other fucking teams. So statistically, the odds are in your favor. Like, you have like a 90-something% chance. I've just seen the fucking stat just a second ago. I was on the fucking Twitter, like 97% chance of fucking being right. Like, chill with the bullshit. Like, enjoy your fucking team. Enjoy the fucking game, because we get so overly concerned, and we're not even the ones putting the work in. The motherfuckers who are actually going out there day in and day out, busting their motherfucking ass, getting the injuries, making the real decisions. It's easy in hindsight. It's easy when you have no fucking skin in the game to complain. Enjoy your fucking team. The Texans are the number 2 seed in the AFC. People are finding ways to complain about being the number 2 seed in the AFC. Well, we lost it because it was the Patriots should have did what they were supposed to do. The Texans have done what they needed to do to get to this point. That's a fucking fact. There's nothing you can negate that. No, whether the wins were ugly. Well, if somebody else would have made a different, well, he didn't fucking make a different decision. In the fucking record books, it's 10-4. So stop saying with the ifs, the probabilities, all this other fucking shit that it isn't. We can do that all fucking day. If fucking the internet was never invented, we wouldn't be fucking talking about this shit. But guess what? It was. We're here. We got YouTube. All that good shit. All these ifs, man. Stop with the fucking ifs. Analysts, stop hating the optimists. Optimists, stop hating the analysts. Both of you have a position in the conversation. The people need to have somebody to root for. So we're supposed to be mad because we're not winning by 10 points a game and this team has put together a solid win streak or a solid record. And we're upset about that shit. Oh, well, you're too happy because we're winning. We're not good enough to be happy. Like, stop that shit. The shit it's fucking dumb as fuck to me, man. Your fucking team is winning. If you're really a Texans fan, there shouldn't be, I'm not saying there shouldn't be negativity, but you need to take your fucking emotions out of the shit. If you're going to analyze, take your emotions out of the analysis and present facts. What is factually happening? What the facts is winning. If you're going to be optimistic, put a little bit of a cap on it and realize, okay, hey, yeah, compared to our next opponent, there are weaknesses and strengths. And any given Sunday, Saturday, apparently, Thursday, Monday, whatever game they fucking play, they're probably gonna start playing on Tuesdays and Wednesdays soon. Anything can fucking happen, man. And just take the shit with a grain of salt. We lose, be upset. We win, be happy. Ultimately, that's it. And I did not even mean to make this shit this long. I didn't mean to go on this fucking rant about the shit. I just meant it to make, I really wanted this to be like a 5-minute video. But fuck it. It is what the fuck it is, man. Hey, fuck with y'all, Sauce Nation. But again, all the fucking anger, all the frustration that's going on, all of this, we're mad because we're not winning well enough. I just can't comprehend. Maybe because I used to be a super negative person and I know how toxic it is, how that impacts your life when you look at everything so fucking negative. And I had to work to become much more positive, go through some things in life to become a much more positive person. And look at shit with the bright side. We were not in anybody's conversation last year once everybody went down. Most of y'all jumped ship last year on both sides, analysts and optimists, once Deshaun went down and we saw things weren't going away. Most of y'all wasn't even fucking watching the Texans game. Let's be honest with it. Be real with you. If you real, drop that in the comment section below. Let me know if you stopped watching the games after Deshaun went down, because I know some of y'all gonna keep it real. I know some of y'all gonna fabricate. And Sauce Nation, man, let me get a what's the motherfucking deal. If you ain't got shit else to say, let me get a what's the motherfucking deal in the comments. I fuck with y'all, but hey, we're gonna go ahead and get ready for this live stream coming up soon. Apparently, I'm getting some messages. I'm getting active. But I mean, like I said, I fuck with y'all regardless of what side you're on, regardless of your opinion. But let's be rational. Both sides, the O's and the A's. Let's fucking be rational. Let's enjoy this team. Who knows where the journey's going to take us? Let's stop counting ourselves out before we ever even fucking get there. Enjoy it. Right now, we need to focus on the next opponent week by week. When you try to put too broad of a focus on it, you spread yourself thin, and you're going to always be upset about something, or you're always going to overlook something. Man, go Texans. Sauce Nation, I fuck with y'all. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Hey, if you're new to this, not true to this, and you just now finding this video, man, make sure you follow Sauce Sports on social media. Instagram, Sauce Sports HTX. Twitter, Sauce Sports HTX. The link in the description below for the Sauce Sports Facebook group, man. Again, we go live every night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can call into the Sauce line. You can text into the Sauce line. We want to hear your opinions live on stream, man. Say it ain't just about us. It's about y'all. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients. Hey, but with that being said, Sauce Nation, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. It's your boy, Ed Honcho, your Houston homer, your Houston homeboy, Senior Saucy, man. Hey, I'm signing out. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world, man. Y'all stay saucy, man. I'm gone. Stop with the bullshit. Stop tripping. I'm out.